Hello, my name is Jennifer Sperry Steinorth, and I'm delighted to be reading to you on behalf of the Badmouth reading series, where I hope someday to read live in person before you. But until that time, this is a wonderful way to connect. And I hope that you and your loved ones are getting everything that you need right now in this challenging time. And I hope this brings you some pleasure. I thought I'd read from my poetry collection, Awake with Nine Shades, recently out from Texas Review Press. This first poem hails from a time that was also a challenging period of my life, my family's life. I worked for many years as a general contractor. I'm still a general contractor. And this is kind of stewing on some of that work. Shoveling. And just when you thought you had dug yourself out, rain. The cement truck had to be turned away. The foundation for your ailment is earth. By 9 a.m., you want bourbon. We'll settle for yesterday's coffee. In the car to pick up the kids, you find a bill you thought was paid. Back home, back on hold, you sit down to slow the panic. You get up and pace. You must have prayed. You must have tangled your mind in cobwebs dangling from the fan blades. Don't worry. Whatever you've lost should be easy to find. You've been tracking dirt all over the house. So the title, Awake with Nine Shades, is playing on, one of the things it's playing with is the different definitions of the word wake. I live in northern Michigan in the Great Lakes region, big water. And so water comes up a lot, water imagery, and thinking about the wakes on the surface between the sky above and the depths below. Also, the liminal space between sleep and consciousness, and the wake that occurs in the aftermath of a death. Wake as in aftermath, and wake as in the celebration that occurs after a death. Dear Robert, Robert Frost is hard for me to get excited about. Sacrilege, you say? But I need him now. In order to write, don't know what, not sure how. He loved him, my father-in-law, Robert Frost. The world he wrote about, educated on sight, with a drill bit and know-how. I need him now, my father-in-law. To tell me how to tell my husband I need him now. To hold the world we've lost about, the loss we love about. I write it down, nothing. Nothing Robert Frost about it. Nothing even. Odd love, nothing platonic, something catatonic. Maple saplings aren't even. 3 leaves tall. Leavings, 3 leaves tall, all about the base of the tree. Not even saplings yet. Not even saplings, yet leafing out. I pull one out of the lichen. I loved him, my father-in-law. I loved him fatly. I loved his portly wobble through the forest. Gone now. Why I kite about it. A string. A white line between hand and flying thing. A white line spooling out of a hand at the raised end of a body beached. A raised body reclining. A friend I know barely, a friend I know barely dressed on this beach has lost her father. I take a lover. Rob Frost. Sacrilege, you say? He took his own life, my husband's father. My husband's wife is afraid of what? The drill bit, the robber, the frost. What we winter over all summer, the hammer and 10-penny nails. What is written? what it costs. Um, I have to apologize if you can hear some yapping dogs down below. It's hard to get them out if I'm not taking them out. So um, hopefully it's not too distracting. I thought I'd read an excerpt from a epistolary sequence that comes in the middle of the book. Epistolary means a series of letters, and so these are letters between the dead Robert Frost and a midlife poet who, in her own words, is flirting with crisis. Her name is Genevieve S. And so it's a little bit of back and forth between the living and the dead. It's called A Tryst, Little Tryst with R. Frost. Select Billy Dew. Dear Mr. Frost, I hope this finds you well in your little well. Or is it more like a mine? I wonder if you've time to speak with me about poetry and accessibility. I'm a midlife poet flirting with crisis, more or less. Genevieve S. Dear Genevieve S., I've nothing but time. Do you cook? Robert F. Dear Robert, last night was lovely. Lovely. But I don't love your poems. Theirs is an old romance, besotted with, or maybe they're just hard for me. Also, I'm married. Please advise. G. My dear Jen, yes, it was. That's fine. Sure they are. So am I. R.F. Dear Robert, last night snow gathering in the window screens your hands. How easily you slip away. The living leave tracks in the snow. You left your glasses. G. Dear Guinevere, do you mind if I call you Guinevere? We could role play the highwayman. Come to me by moonlight. I'll come to thee by moonlight. I do a good dead guy. So can you. F. Dear Robert, I have never carried a milk bucket. I love my husband, but he doesn't love poetry, not even a little. When you look in my eyes, do you see a woman or a poem? What does the woman want? A poem? I can only be seen when my household is asleep. Also, he doesn't dance. Fuck Billy Elliot and Tom Elliot. Fuck Billy Yates and Billy Collins. And fuck you too. So goddamn accessible, no one can get close to you. In your lifetime, were you known? Yours, G. G? Fuck who? Please advise. RF. Dear Robert, have I mentioned my sons? Sometimes I beget. Then I worry about raising sons while betting Robert Frost. Pardon me putting you in third person, but surely you realize you're an institution. My sons have a mother who's institutionalized. Some people think poets are free. Is this true? Yours, G. G, I'm dead. RF. Robert, darling, this may sting, but I've fallen for Creeley. P.S. I bought a new nightie. Dear F. How do you breach the wall between us? Must you pace the length, probing for a crumbling? Avoid border control, dogs? And who, after its must, is responsible for the wall's repairing? G. Dear F. Sometimes when I call, it just rings and rings. Dear G. I know. Isn't it wonderful? Dear Robert, weeks, months, watching for you, nothing. What keeps you? I walk the field to the end of it, run my hands along the wall, slipshod stones unclick to season the vagrant grass. Beyond the wall, not so high as my breast, another field yields to a line of firs. Late summer cool, early fall, hunting seasons. One game, then another, buckshot, the upflush of pheasant. Hunched, blue trees, their blue backs. Dear RF, I never have so many buttons as when I'm with you. Lucite, bakelite, mother of pearl, ivory, glass, bone. And yours, so many sheaths, so long to release you. Release, then oh, so long, you cry, too quick. Dear Robert, before you come, I think you will not come. After you are gone, I think you will not come again. Please advise. Jen. Dear Jen, I'll see you tonight. Melody freeze at 8? I'll be late. Dear R, sometimes when I'm with you, you're very old, and sometimes young. Do you feel the changing? I see your face transform in my hands, from a man of 45 to 88 to a week's old child. Do we live with all our ages inside us? Dying, do we pour them out till there are none, or wear them all at once? And this always, how long will it come between us? Dear Robert, you are reunited with your wife and 1,000 queens, magicians, scholars, dancers besides, and Emily and Rainey and Aunt Gert and beloved CD. Even you and I will be reconciled in ecstatic oblivion eventually. Why the howling? Was your love ever false? Did she withhold the favorite dish, serving instead a thin broth cold? I sent love away, was angry. My house, no longer my house, was empty. Children, husband, mother, friends gone to the movies. A mystery. And when the culprit is finally caught, what will her sentence be? Here's another that's playing with the wake. I've got just a couple more. That's all right. You can't tell me no, so, although you can turn me off. Let's see, this is called What If We Wake Up Dead? What if we plant roses beside the shed? What if we paint the living room a muddy incarnadine? What if we go on a diet? What if we go to Paris? What if the dog's ghost follows us when the house is sold? Where will we go when the house is sold? What if we try talking? What if I could be nice? What if we have to move in with your mother? What if we could be honest about the weather? What if, like a father, you get up to leave the room? What if, like a mother, I speak only in other rooms? What if we redo the kitchen and you become a pastry chef? What if we move to Phoenix? What if I smash the Lennox? What if I drive away? What is good? What if I drive away into a tree? What if we cross our hearts? What if we make applesauce? What if you become what kills a father? What if I can't forgive what killed your father? What if the kids could see us? What if the kids become us? What if the kids inherit everything? Wake and island. Pressed between blue pages a few hours on our old boat, which is not ours, my leg over the bow, you in the stern with the kids in the stern. I'm reading poems. You're not. The sky, a depression of noon wilting on our way back from the island we did not reach. The boys drag bits of pita through some dip, argue the last cola. We are not arguing now. I said what I thought, you said what you thought, and I won. It's not nice. What do you want? I said, and you don't know. It's been so long since I even wondered, you said. Pinned here in this book, almost no wind, none. The water glass, like old glass, that much ripple, that much distortion, too. Small sailboats go by port side, one red hulled, the other white. It's not our boat, your father's gone. Days don't get more beautiful than this. The white hazed blue, a few big clouds. We could not stand it any bluer. And the land rolls up, away, the glass reflects the sky. Thank God we cannot see ourselves, for home we're headed. Nothing violent, nothing shattered. Glass, the surface just before us, always smooth, always untouched. And when we mar it, it repairs itself with no help from us. One more. Range. When one braids together a horse and a fence, it isn't pretty. Mangle of mane and wire, twisted legs, cedar splints. Once, on a hill in a far country, I watched some horses across a dust road break free. One cantered up the rise to me like a dear friend long removed, glimpsed unexpectedly in a city to which neither of us belonged. We approached each other untethered. He bent his forehead to my lips, nuzzled my chest. I stroked his neck. All afternoon we walked the dale along the river into the forest. At dusk we lay down beneath a clutch of trees in the sorrel and clover until a child, tattered dress, frayed plaits, nearing hysterics for her lost companion, fell upon us. Consoling herself, she led him away under the stars. Even the fiercest, cruelest fence is nothing to this darkness littered with unstrung lights. Thank you. Be well.